All right. All right. All right. All right. It is time for the Real Money Coach Show. Y'all know what to do. Put it in the chat where you are watching from. Come quick, come early. You do not want to miss tonight's show. Listen, Kimberly McGinn already checking in from the Queen City, Charlotte. Who else is watching? Brad Hudson from Belmont, North Carolina. That might as well be Charlotte, Brad. Okay, we just gonna be real about it. Who else is checking in tonight for our show? I'm excited. Y'all know I'm excited every week, though, right? Because I get to spend this time from you. Timothy Day checking in from Durham, North Carolina. Who else check in? Who gonna tell us? Robin, I think that might be Robin Black now. I don't know, but it's from Concord, North Carolina, and we know that's where Robin resides. So, welcome to the show, one and all. I want you to do something. I want you to do, if you're watching this through Facebook, I want you to just hit that share button, right? Hit that share button so that other people will get this live broadcast, because we promised something. If you listened to the radio show, if you listened to the radio show this Saturday that aired at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, Praise 100.9, y'all know that. Y'all are expecting something to happen today. If you know what that is, I want you to put it in the chat. Now, maybe you didn't listen to the radio show. Maybe you caught it on the podcast. You know, we are podcasting our show to Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud. We are on all the platforms. So the radio show gets broadcast to all the platforms. Thomas Bird, thank you for being here from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. The Bird, Tom, word is the bird. All right. So we're glad that you're here. So, or you may even saw it on the email or social media post, but you're expecting something tonight. And you ought to come expecting something every time you tune into the Real Money Coach Show. What should you expect? You should expect to learn something. You should expect to be, let's say this, informed and inspired. And that's what we're looking to do tonight. And so I'm not going to hold up the process. Let's bring on my co-host, Michelle Mitchell.
Good evening, Tony.
Hey, Michelle, you're looking kind of vacationally today. Is that a word? Did I just make up a word?
Well, yes.
So my wife was in the background saying, yes, you just made up a word. You know how we preachers do. We make up words and all this kind of stuff. Alice Martin, thank you for being here. Cassandra M., thank you for tuning in tonight. Listen, we got a lot of people calling in, and we got a lot of people telling us where they're at tonight. Michelle, they're all over the country. Of course, we very heavy for North Carolina, but we also are, got people from Maryland and I know other parts. We got, few different cities in North Carolina. If you're watching tonight and you're in a state other than North Carolina, make sure you let us know so we know who we're reaching, how far out. I get the analytics. I see where y'all are tuning in from, but don't know. But many of you don't say anything, right? Look at it. You got IC Investor said, great day, super excited, right? I love that energy. Michelle, what's going on? What are we going to be doing together in July?
Man, we're going to be hosting a conference together, are we?
I think we're going to be hosting a conference together.
I think we are, yeah.
So for those of you, here's the breaking news. We're going to have a viral networking conference. It's just a one. Well, it's kind of 2-day, right? So it's the viral, going viral tour with Taylor Harris.
Yes.
Or is it Harris Taylor? Taylor Harris. Okay.
Taylor Harris.
Yeah, Taylor Harris. So she's been on the show. She's known as the Queen of Networking. She has a networking conference. Michelle, what was the conference like? You attended virtually last year?
Yeah, I attended the virtual conference. I hated that I couldn't attend all day, but if you want to make connections and increase your network, then attending Tony's conference is key because she is adamant about you getting appointments right on the spot. So be ready with your calendar so people can have your calendar and you make connections on the spot.
On the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I ain't gonna call you to make an appointment. We're gonna make an
No.
appointment. We're gonna get this
Yes.
thing hooked up right now.
So if
And
you don't
so
have a calendar link, get one, so that when you come to the conference, you can make those appointments and walk away with 10 or 15 new appointments on your calendar.
So here's the thing that's gonna happen. This is a national tour. I believe it's 10 cities, maybe. We probably could at some point maybe pull that up. We might not do it this week, but we'll do it definitely next week. Charlotte is the stop that is going to take place on July 29th. July 29th, Charlotte is going to be the stop for the tour. We're going to have a VIP on Friday night. VIP, y'all, VIP is $125, includes dinner, the whole conference. And Michelle and me and Tony. And then so it's really going to be a really powerful networking. The VIP is limited to only 10 people, only 10 people. And then the next day is going to be the actual conference. Now we haven't solidified exactly where it is. I am checking out a couple locations. Will be the next day, and that will run from 11 to 2. From 11 to 2, there'll be Michelle will be speaking. I'll be speaking. Tony will be speaking. We'll be doing a lot of networking. So come get your network on. If you are in the Charlotte area, anywhere within driving distance, you need to make sure that you come and check this out. And we'll announce very soon. Once we have solidified our location, we will put those tickets out there so that you all can get your VIP. And we're just gonna have a great time.
Great time. Because
So
Tony's fun.
Tony she's a lot of energy. She's gonna be back on the show prior to that. And then so it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And let me see. I got a couple other things that I want to let you all know who may be following me. I will be in Nashville. Well, actually, I'll be in Baltimore on Saturday at the State of the Black World Conference. I'll be there on a panel on Saturday. That will take place this Saturday, and it's at the Convention Center down at the harbor. And then next weekend, I will be in Nashville. I'll be doing a debt workshop at First Baptist Murfreesboro. So I will be doing a debt workshop on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll be preaching that Sunday morning in Nashville. So if you're in that area, come out and see Elisa and I will be in town. And then the following Saturday, so that's the 28th, 29th. The following Saturday, I'll be in Durham, North Carolina for a conference with Timothy Day. Elisa and I will be there for that. And I believe the registration for that is going to be, I think, Timothy, you could put in the chat if you wouldn't mind, if there's a link to register already. So that's going to be on the 6th of May.
You're busy.
Listen, the 6th of May is a real special day. You know that? Do you know what the 6th of May is?
I think I know what the 6th of May is.
What is it?
Is that the first day you and Lisa went out?
Yeah, that's when she became my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Back in and we went to the movies that night. Guess what we went to see? School days. Okay. School days. Yeah, school days. We were in college. Yeah. So we went to saw School Days. It came out that night. Kim Richardson, thank you for being here. One of my good people from the radio station, Radio 1.
Hey, Kim.
And so, yeah, so we will so yeah, that's our anniversary date. That's our anniversary date. Yeah. Okay. That's that. And here we are, 35 years later.
Right.
Married for 30 years, gonna be 31, still doing that thing, right? Still doing that thing. So and then so that's the calendar coming up. And then in June, I was just looking here. On June 10th, I will be at a conference that's going to take place out in Concord. I will be on one of the main stage speakers. I'll be talking about, let's talk about generational wealth. So that is coming up on June 10th. So I will share more information about that as we get closer to it. Make sure that you can register to be a part of that.
We busy, man.
That's the agenda, right?
Yeah.
And Michelle, I'm so really proud because I have a team that is coming up behind me. They getting it. They're getting it done. And so we love that. So all right, Michelle, let me tell you something. I had Justin Giles on the radio, and man, it was pretty exciting. He's got a lot of energy, and I'm going to tell you everybody a little bit about him, and then we're going to bring him on because I've been doing enough with all these announcements. We're going to bring on the man. Let me tell you about Justin. Justin is known as the top fund manager. He's founding partner of GHI Capital and broker for Real Estate Gurus Realty in Atlanta. Listen, at 38 years old, multi-millionaire entrepreneur. Now, not million, okay? Multi. That means what? That means more than one, right? That's multi, right? Multi-millionaire, hedge fund owner, real estate mentor. Man, just the credentials go on and on. And he's been in Forbes. He's been in USA Today. Man, he teaches athletes how to make millions after their playing careers. He was talking to us a little bit in backstage about what he's doing to mentor young people. Wow. I mean, the credentials is for real.
Yeah.
And so, as you guys know who've been watching the show, he said, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to tell you on Tuesday night. Nobody put it in the chat. I don't know. Maybe nobody knows. He's going to tell us how we can make $10,000.
That's right. That's what he said.
Not in a month.
Right.
Not in 2 months.
Yeah.
In a week. What? In a week. Come on, somebody. Listen, let's bring on Justin on stage so that we can get this show going. Justin, how you doing, my friend?
Welcome.
Phenomenal. I just want to say it's an honor to be here with you guys. Shout out to all the people out there in North Carolina, all across the U.S. Half my family's from South Carolina. They moved to Charlotte, so I got a special place in my heart for all my North Carolina people up on this call. But everybody else, be more people and people out in L.A., wherever y'all at, hey, man, we all going to kill it anyway. So I'm just happy to be here.
Man, so you got roots in South Carolina?
Yeah, bro. Oh, man. If you know where this part of South Carolina is, Jonesville, South Carolina, that's in Union County, then we cousins. Because that place is like one stoplight. You got the Walmart, and we be happy to go to Walmart. So, but yeah, it's real.
Hey, well, it sounded like where I was living in Michigan, man.
Right.
It ain't much different. So,
yeah,
man, it's really awesome to have you on the show. I'm so glad that Ivan hooked us up, man, and I'm looking forward to just cultivating our relationship and there's something special about someone who's accomplished what you have in a short time period, man. And when I say short, usually like 38 years old.
Well, now I've been doing this since I was 21, so I've been in business going on 18 years, which is crazy.
You've been in the game. You just started early. You've been in the game. You just started early. So, man, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you shared a little bit on the radio. I'd love for you to kind of reshare a little bit of that because you were talking about how you grew up, 2008, what happened. So kind of bring us full circle a little bit with that.
Okay, sure. So I'm born and raised in Atlanta, and my parents in Atlanta, Georgia, started an internet technology company. So my dad's side from South Carolina, they were sharecroppers. And you guys, part of South, you guys know what that is. My mom's side, they're from Birmingham, Alabama, and they were factory workers. So they ended up getting together and starting up an internet technology company that became a multi-million-dollar international company where we had offices in Johannesburg, Singapore, Malaysia, Germany, Seattle, Washington, Florida, and of course the headquarters was in Atlanta. But my brother and I were groomed to take over those businesses. So I ended up going to Cornell and got my major in economics. My brother went to Georgia Tech, got his major in management information technology. And my goal is to take the company public. When I turned 19, my parents had a bad divorce. That company was no longer there. and I had to pretty much start over. When I say start over, is that I didn't have as much as my parents built. Sometimes when people get divorced, things get a little rocky, right? So basically, I didn't have any business to take over. I didn't have any cash because my dad went on speaking terms for quite a long time, and my mom, she was going through it a lot. So even though I didn't have cash to like a whole bunch of cash start up, I had wealth. I was wealthy, right? In fact, I was super wealthy because there you go. I had all the information that my parents instilled in me as a little kid. So knowing how to start a business, knowing how to run a business, having the education that I had and all the connections that I built over, being in school and even building upon what my parents gave me, I was able to start my own business. However, I got into the business around 2005. I graduated from school about half a year early because I wanted to get out and start my own business. Well, 2006, the real estate market was good, but then come 2008, it crashed, and when it crashed, I pretty much lost everything. Foreclosure, bad credit. It was tough. I didn't make money for 2 years. And that 2-year period, I had to figure it out, and that's type of stuff I'm going to share with you guys today.
Well, man, it's so awesome that I love what you said. I didn't have any cash, but I had the knowledge, and I can hear my mama, right? I can hear mama and them saying, if you get an education, can't nobody take that away, right?
Right.
And we're talking about formal education. We're talking about education in terms of whatever it is, knowledge, and we always talk about knowledge is power and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Knowledge is potential power. But when you put it to use, that's where the power comes in. And so pretty amazing story, man, that you went through all that, because it sounds like prior, I mean, you guys were kind of living the life.
No, so I'm second generation millionaire, and I'm proud of it. Like, I grew up, my parents were millionaires. They achieved multi-million-dollar status when I was little. So the thing is that growing up in a huge mansion and going to the best schools in the world, right? We have to normalize that for the Black community. And it's so interesting that you bring that up, is because I feel that a lot of our people are systematically oppressed because a lot of people glorify starting from the bottom. So we'll then in turn try to educate our children and give them the best we can, but then they'll get into a culture to where they have to assimilate or feel ashamed of their wealth or feel ashamed of where their parents are from. And that's why I saw the title of this here was Normalize Black Wealth. Because if you think about a lot of other cultures, they pride themselves with coming from money. They pride themselves coming from the accomplishments of their parents and building upon it. So we as a culture have to make sure that we impress upon our youth that it is great and phenomenal to come from something, and it's also great to start from the bottom. But you have to continue to build and don't tear down. So I'm here and pridefully here to show people how they can actually build, no matter what background, no matter what their credit score is, and how they can truly build wealth in real estate starting from nothing. But when they take this information from this particular show, I want them to teach their kids this information, so then they can then continue to give that generational wealth over, so they can keep trickling down for more ages to come.
Well, man, what's interesting. Normally when I have guests on, I'm looking for a title, right? I'm looking for a title for the show. And when we were having the conversation and you said normalizing Black wealth, I was like, boom, that's it. That's what this show needs to be about. That's the message that we want to get out there. And, I love the fact that you said, I'm not unapologetically a second generation, multi-millionaire. And that's one of the things, honestly, that I think our community has done a disjustice, right? And let me be honest, we've done it in the church, especially. We've glorified being poor. There's nothing glorious about being poor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really isn't. Now, money, well, one of my mentors, George Frazier, said, money ain't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen.
Yeah.
But we do have to normalize, and it's okay to be wealthy. And sometimes I think, Michelle, and you can agree with this, is that if we don't deal with the mindset, that what we'll do is subconsciously sabotage our own wealth.
All day.
Yes.
We don't believe that we deserve it. We don't believe that we deserve it. We don't believe that it's attainable for us.
Yeah.
And so I love that whole mindset that you have about that. And you know, we keep talking about, well, I came up by my bootstraps and all this stuff. And even this, man, in my career doing insurance, I've had brothers tell me, like, no, I ain't buying no life insurance because I ain't trying to leave nobody rich when I die. Well,
yeah.
Right? Like, well, you gonna guarantee that happens.
Right.
So that I love that. I love that mindset.
Yeah, and for sure. And the thing is, you know, to add on to it, what culture do you hear? If you think about when you hear white people talk, right? When you hear Asian people talk, when you hear Indian people talk, nobody says they're from the hood. If you notice that. They don't say they're from the hood. They just say, you know, hey, my parents, you know, they came from humble beginnings, but nobody claims or glorifies the hood in those other cultures. So you think about it, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you. A lot of these people that I've done business, a lot of people that I've seen that are on these super high net worth levels, they want us as a culture, as Black people, to pretty much perpetuate starting from the bottom so that we can't excel as much as their cultures do, just to be completely real. So the thing is that for me, and knowing that, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to put on as many people as I can so they can then make as much money as they can, and also do it in a concentrated period of time. So that way they can learn how to then put other people on, because the stuff that we're going to talk about today, it doesn't matter if you're in jail. It doesn't matter if you're at Goldman Sachs. You can still run these plays no matter what your degree is in, or even if you have a college education, but this information can truly change lives. So whenever you guys are ready to get into it, I'll get into it. Wherever you guys.
Well, you know, I'm ready to get into it, man. And as you were talking about it, I thought about this. It's like, you know, everyone talks about, like, even Bill Gates, and you know, Bill Gates had, you know, Microsoft, and you know, and just became wealthy from nothing. Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize that Bill Gates, when he took Microsoft to IBM, his mom was on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we act like, and we mad at Donald Trump's dad because he gave him $1 million out of a life insurance policy, by the way, gave him $1 million to start a real estate. Instead of getting mad, we ought to just learn from that and say, well, you know what? It's time that we do something. So let's get it, man. What you got for us, man?
Yeah. So pretty much, and to give you guys a little bit of background, because I kind of glazed over it a little bit, but when the market crashed, I had to figure out how to make money out of air, because I didn't make money for a couple years. So the thing is that coming from a particular background that I am, and being used to working for myself, and being in an environment where I was taught to critically think, if you're put into a corner, you're either going to sit down and cry about it, or you're going to try to fight your way out. So the strategies I ended up coming up with were ways to where I can make money, you know, out of air, right? So just to give a little bit of background, when the market crashed, I ended up getting my real estate license. Then I started cold calling people to just try to get listings. And how I get listings, I would say, hey, listen, I can list your property for a flat fee. I just need to make $1,000 that week. Now, this isn't what I'm going to teach you guys, but you have to understand where all this derived from. So I was cold calling for sale by owners, say, hey, I can list your property at a very short commission, but in order to get that very small commission, give me $1,000 up front, right? So now in a week, I'm doing a couple grand just cold calling. And then I start selling houses. So then when I start selling the houses, the market crashed, property's cheap, right? So 08, 09, you can get houses for like 12 grand, 15 grand. But going through the foreclosures, going through the hard times, I developed so many different methods of real estate investing by literally going through it and going through the hard times. Then I thank God for it, because all those different hard times I went through showed me methods that allowed me to really, really scale. So just to give you a little background, when I was at Cornell, I interned at an investment bank on Wall Street called Credit Suisse. And being an econ major, a lot of us end up going to work for investment banks. But working in the investment banking field, I saw what these huge hedge funds and huge investment banks want when it comes to investing. And you'll see they want a certain rate of return. So as a result, when I was getting myself up from, like basically being broke, I realized what different things to invest in. So I'll show you guys different things to invest in. So that way, if you need to unload something, you're going to make money because you already have a buyer for it. But that being said, I started making money when nobody was making money because I went through it. So now fast forward 18 years later, I have a plethora of information from literally trial and error, from hardships, from failures. But the failures were God's gift, because it just propelled me and showed me so many ways to really not only help myself, but help others truly attain success, regardless of background, credit, cash in your bank account. And then I've been allowed to I just had a ceremony this past Saturday, and I gave out about 45 awards to people that I consult. And these awards start from me making $5,000 a month to over $300,000 in a month. I passed out probably about 14 different awards of people that made over $100,000 a month using my strategies. But I'm happy about that because these people came from all different backgrounds, but they were able to utilize these strategies to truly kill it. So I'll give you guys some game, but I guess just let me know, is there a particular one you want me to show you the 10 grand week play, or you want me to kind of, is there a particular thing you probably want me to discuss? Just kind of curious. But I want to give you guys a background about how these things were actually derived. They're derived by being broke and trying to figure out how to make a concentrated amount of money in a very short period of time. And everybody's been through that.
So we got two choices. We got the 10 grand a week play, or what's the second option?
I mean, well, all these things kind of go together. So I'll just go ahead and cut the chase and get to it, right?
Yeah.
So let's say
if y'all listening and y'all watching, if y'all want the 10 grand play, put it in the chat. Let us know that's what you want. If that's what you want.
I'm just gonna get the 10 grand play anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna give it to us. Come on with it.
Because like it all goes together. So I'm gonna give you guys multiple 10 grand week plays, right? So I guess you guys can challenge me to give you guys at least 4. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ready? I'm gonna give y'all 4 different plays. Now, the first thing is this. All right, imagine that you have a Monday, right? Like it's Monday, and your car breaks down. Let's say you drive a Benz. You bought a car you couldn't afford, right? Your brakes are out, the transmission's bad. You take it to the dealership. They say, "Hey, listen, your bill is $6,000, and you want to get your car fixed. You got to get the money by, I don't know, let's say Friday." So this is one of the plays you can do. I'm gonna give you multiple, but this is the first play. I would show you guys how to find a house. You'll then find a house, you'll put it under contract. But what you're going to do is when you get the property under contract, you're going to find an end buyer for this property. In real estate, this is called wholesaling. You're either going to do assignment contract or double closing. Don't stress that, but you're going to literally buy and sell a house without using cash. But typically when you get a property under contract, the person has to put up earnest money, right? So if you have a property you found and you start employing the strategies that I teach you on, let's say on a Monday, you might get a deal, let's say about Tuesday or Wednesday. You're going to then have a contract on that property. That contract, if you find it using the ways I do it, you won't have to put up any cash. But let's say you do. Let's say you put up $1,000. Well, you won't have to put up $1,000 because you'll find the end buyer, and that end buyer is going to put up the earnest money for you. But if your contract has $1,000 on it, you'll tell that end buyer the actual contract price is going to be, the earnest money that you have to put up is going to be $3,000. So now you've made $2,000 because the earnest money is going to be non-refundable for that end buyer, right? So you made $2,000 off that contract. And then if it sells, now let's say that you're getting the property for $100,000 and you're selling it to the end buyer for $10,000. Okay. So now the next week they'll close on that property and you would make $10,000. If they didn't perform, you already made the $2,000 for that week, right? But let's say that you did that 5 times in a week. You would have already made $10,000 just off the earnest money alone. And then the next week, you would have made probably 5 times $50,000 because the deal's actually closed. Now that went up your head. I'm gonna give you something even simple. That was one play, right? Don't stress that one. I'm gonna give you something super simple. So one thing that I do, if you have no clue about wholesaling or double closing or anything like that, what you're gonna do is run the play of contracting. In real estate, you can make money in any type of aspect, right? So why not do it on the contracting play? You don't have to be a licensed contractor to make money. You can make money as a middleman. So one of the things that makes a lot of money is granite, right? Now I'm gonna give you 4 plays, okay? You can actually find a granite person, and granite can be installed literally probably within a few days. Now what I do, and I'm gonna tell you one of the scripts, so you guys pay close attention. This is a script, okay? I want you to play with me. Somebody role play with me. I'm going to call you on the phone, okay? Role play. I need a role player.
Michelle, you gonna
All
role play?
Tony, ready?
Role play, Michelle.
Okay, Michelle, I'm gonna call you. Ready, Michelle?
Yes.
All right. I want you to be a real estate agent that has a listing on Zillow. All right.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna target real estate agents that have listings on Zillow that look like they deal with investors.
Mhm.
All right. Play along with me. Let's go. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle, I was calling about the property you had on 123 Woodhaven Drive. Is that still available?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, look, let me tell you something. I'm doing the Granite literally a few doors down from you, and we have the best prices on Granite. So I don't know if your client was looking to change out the Granite on this house, or if you have any other clients who are looking to change Granite on the house, but I'm just kind of curious.
Sure. Yeah.
Tell me no.
No, they don't
Oh,
want.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, listen, so because more than likely, realistically, they might not need it, right? But
Right.
let
Yeah.
me show you how it goes.
Mhm.
So, okay, cool. Well, listen, either way, I'm looking at this kitchen right now. I see the granite hasn't been done. I can probably get the granite done for 30% less than anybody else. So, if you have any investors, anybody that you know that needs granite, I would love to help them out because literally I got the best prices in town. Like I'm killing people right now. So, if you do have anybody in particular, I would love to even give you some sort of gift certificate or something like that for the referral. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, Michelle?
Okay. Thank
Do
you.
you think you might know any investors that might need my service?
Maybe.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, definitely pass on my information because I'm doing some specials this week.
Okay.
Okay, now what's going to happen is this, truth be told, I record myself doing these calls for my mentees. For the most part, I'm going to have success in calling, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm calling, let's say, for example, and Tony, you know this. Let's say you go talk to 100 women up in, let's say a club, right? Somebody's going to give you the number. So what it is repetition. It's numbers. You have to actually put in the work.
Numbers
So
game.
if you're truly looking to make money, right? What separates people that are successful, people that are not, are people that are going to put in the effort. So I'll make phone calls and I'll just call and target certain realtors on Zillow. This is something if you need the money quick. So I'll target these realtors on Zillow because realtors have what? Clients.
Clients.
They
Yeah.
have clients. Realtors have clients. And a lot of these realtors have clients that are investors, and investors are always working on properties. They're always doing deals, and they're always looking for people to do repairs. So if I contact 100 realtors in a day, which is easy, but let's say I'm lazy, I contact 20, I'm still going to be successful because now I'm putting my information out there. And guess what? When I did this live call with my mentees, I actually got a contract to do 20 different apartments, right? Imagine if I just made 1,000 off of those 20 apartments, which would be more. That's $20,000 I made off a phone call. If you think I'm lying, I want you guys to look at the video. It's gonna be in my 10grandweek.com challenge anyway. So go to 10grandweek.com. When I have that class, May 15th, you will have the homework seeing how I close that deal in real time. But the point is that that's one play, the granite play, right? So what you would do is on a Monday, first thing you would do is you will find people that do granite, right? You'll go get you a few different guys and they can give you different price points of how much they will charge you to do a granite kitchen. And then these guys are going to do the work. So you don't even have to be there. You can do granite plays in any state whatsoever. You can literally go find granite guys in all 50 states, have them go to the property addresses, make sure they're loyal, say, hey, I own this contractor company called Mitchell Contracting. Okay, we do a lot of plays. We want to try you out as one of our contractors. I want you to go give a quote, but give the quote directly to me. Don't give the quote to the homeowner. Give the quote directly to me. I'll try it out, see how it goes. The homeowner says, I'm good. I want to go ahead and do it. You then get half of the deposit down from the homeowner before we start. That half covers the material. And more than likely, how I get granite, for example, I'll do a granite kitchen for probably about maybe, if it's a standard kitchen, for probably 1,800 to $2,000. Most people would think a granite kitchen would be about 4,500 to 5,000. So I'm averaging about $2,000 per kitchen, right? So even if you think about that, if I get 5 kitchens that week, I'm good. And because they can then do it that week. But check it out. How you make the 10 grand that week, guys, is this. Even if you don't do all the kitchens that week, right? Let's say that's not realistic. You're getting the deposit. And some of the people that I have will say, hey, look, listen, the materials might not even be that much, or we'll still start the project next week. So then some of the contractors can even take all the money after they finish the job because I already had the stuff in inventory. So now if you did 5 of these, you got down a deposit and you're charging everybody $4,000 and the deposit is $2,000. You already got your 10 grand up front for that week because you're going to finish the jobs the following week and pay out the contractor that's going to get paid in full when he finishes the job. Does that make sense? I didn't talk too fast. I'll go over everybody's head.
No,
right?
That's
But
good.
the thing is that people overcomplicate making money. Another play, let me give you an example. Roofing. Roofing, you don't have to be a roofing contractor. Roofing makes so much cash. Now, I already have a lot of roofing contacts in most cities. So all I do is the same play, right? Tony, check it out. I'm calling you. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Tony, this is Justin. Listen, bro, I'm doing a job right down the street from you. I see you got a client that has a house on the market. I think it's pending or something like that. You already got a contract on it, right?
Yeah. Sales pending on that property.
Yeah, I saw it was pending on there. Well, I don't know if you guys are going to have a punch out list for this end buyer, but bro, we do roofs, okay? So we can even do the roof without even your seller coming out of pocket. We can do an insurance claim on that, and we got the best roofing prices in town. And so either way, let me know if they might need a roof because I'd be more than happy to help them out, right? So that's one way to call. Here's another call. You ready? Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Tony, how you doing? I was calling about that property you got on 123 Escort Road. Is that still available?
Yeah, that's still available.
Okay, well, check it out, dude. I'm doing roofing in your area, and I'm doing a roof right now. I'm changing out the whole thing for $6,000. Literally $6,000. The house looks very similar to that one. I don't know if you have any clients or this particular seller needs it, but dude, I'm killing people on roof prices. So, let me know if you need one. Do you need one right now? You know somebody needs one?
I got another property that I'm trying to sell for one of my people that it needs a roof.
Awesome. Well, look,
We
listen,
think
let
the
me
roof
get the
might help
address.
it
I can
move.
go ahead and give you an estimate. How soon you need it done?
Well, yeah, we probably need to get it done so we can get this property sold. So,
Okay, but you can also tell me this. Hey, we can, I don't need anyone right now, maybe another week or two. But guess what? I'll call 40 different people. Oh, I need a roof done right now. I'm calling realtors because a lot of times these realtors, they're trying to get deals closed quick. And what happens, they'll have the property under contract, and then the buyer wants a new roof because FHA requires a new roof, or the buyer won't close unless there's a new roof, or the buyer won't close because they put in new flooring. So now all I'm doing is running the contractor play, and I'm calling agents because they want to get their what?
money.
Commission.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to get whoever they can to go do the work on the properties because every time I've sold a house, I've always had to do work to it unless it was as is. So when someone calls me up and they might be reasonable in price, I just changed out of HVAC today, right? So all I'm doing is making quick money, but easy money, and I'm doing it in a very short period of time because I'm putting in the calls to people that are continuously having to repair houses, right? And I have the contractors that are going to be going out there and doing the estimates. So all I'm doing is on my cell phone here by the beach, making crazy money on what? Double closing properties, doing granite countertops, doing roofing, and we're actually doing flooring as well, right? And now we're doing flooring. But check it out. What makes the most money is we'll go buy. You guys want me to keep going? Or am I
Yeah,
overwhelming you guys with information?
go ahead.
I'm over here just overwhelming you guys with information.
We listening, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So the thing that makes the most money, right, is this. So finding the properties, that's what gets you the money. So my thing is contracting, that's easy money that you can get in a very short period of time if you have no experience with dealing with real estate contracts. That's just something that you can do with common sense. Now, the real estate contract side makes the most money. So when I'm showing people and I'm giving out these awards of people making 30 grand or 40 grand in a month or something like that, but really the impressive ones where they're making 6 figures in a month, what they're doing is they're buying property and they're selling it the same day, right? You can get a property under contract and then you can sell it to somebody the same day. So what happens is, remember when we talked about normalizing generational wealth? Well,
Mm-hmm.
normalizing black wealth. So what happens when people get with me and they have no cash whatsoever, I already have an endless list of cash buyers. So if someone has no cash, all they have to do is get with me. I will then make sure they learn how to find properties and get deals under contract. And then they'll put it under contract. We'll blast it to our buyers list of over 50,000 cash buyers throughout the nation. They will then contact that person directly, that person that found the deal directly, and then our team would show them how to double close that property within a short period of time, because my cash buyers move fast, right? But again, that's standing on top of somebody else's shoulders from going off of what somebody already built. So there's no competitive advantage to starting from the bottom, right? So now you're starting from the bottom, you have no contacts, you have no experience, you have no team that has the experience to even coach you through it. Then why say that that's great to start from the bottom? No. So now we're going to Donald Trump it, we're going to quarterback it, because we already have all the contacts. All you got to do is bring the property, put in our assembly line. So then in that week period when you're broke, we'll help you get the cash that you need, because all you have to do is put in the work to find the deal. Does that make sense? So now what happens? Huh?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So now what happens is this. You'll start making that money off of buying and selling property without using your cash in that week period, off of using the earnest money play and just doing buying and selling properties with the double closings or the assignment contracts. So then what people do is they'll take all that cash they made in that short period of time, then they'll actually buy the house to renovate it. So then we give them the contacts with the lenders to then give them the money to buy the property and rehab it. So now they're using other people's money to buy a house that doesn't show on their credit, that they're not pulling like tax returns and all this type of stuff. They don't even care, anything about you outside the fact that the house makes sense. And now they're buying the house, renovating it, and then they're selling it. And I have a real estate brokerage firm. I'm the broker of a company called Real Estate Gurus. So now, and we're licensed in a few different states. So now our company then listed on the market, and they make large sums of cash by rehabbing and selling while they're still running the 10 grand week plays. And then they have so much money because we're going to what? Graduate. We're going to keep elevating. We're not going to run the little stuff because now we got to get to the big stuff. So now their bank account is slowly increasing because they're doing the 10 grand week plays. They're doing the renovations, but the real money is retention. Because when you have so much cash in your bank account, I mean, you're not earning interest on it. So now what? You want to retain it. So now you're buying property, you're renovating it, but now you're refinancing it. They call that the BRRRR method. Buy, renovate, refinance, rent, repeat. It's cold in here. BRRRR. Right? But that's what you want to do. And then we scale even more. After your bank account looks even better, then we start doing commercials. So I'm going to build a mixed-use development this year. Hopefully I break ground in a few months. It's going to be my first mixed-use development. But when you build a mixed-use development, now you're getting to generational cash, because those become worth millions and millions. And then you can keep building and building and buying more land and building. And did you know that if you own land, that can serve as a down payment for your actual construction? So let's say your grandma had a house and they gave it to you free and clear, or your grandma or your grandpa had land and they gave it to you free and clear. You can then go get a loan and build on it, because the land serves as your down payment, because that's your cash infusion. Right. But see, people don't know that. So there's so many ways to scale. I can go on and on, but let me make sure I give you guys 4 plays on how to make 10 grand a week. So I said the earnest money play. That's where you charge more earnest money, that's on your contract. If you have any earnest money, we do the granite play, right? We do the roof play, right? And then I said actually buying and selling the houses for real. That's another play. But then you could do the same thing with flooring, tile, all that stuff for the 10 grand week plays. But I hope that actually helped. When it comes to, no matter what your background is, find you a great contractor that does a specific thing. And also what's super important is this: when you're calling people, the worst thing you can do is this. You ready? Ring, ring, ring. Yo. Who am I calling? Michelle, you up? Ready? Ring, ring, ring.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
You already hung up on me.
Right.
Ready? Ring, ring. Let me show you what not to do. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hey, Michelle, I was calling you because we do roofs in the neighborhood, this and the third. Listen, that's the worst thing you can do is sound like a salesperson.
Yeah.
So in order to be successful as a salesperson, don't sound like a salesperson. Tony, you ready? Ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hey, Tony, what's up, brother? How are you, man? I see you got this listing over here on Elm Street, bro. This thing is dope, dude. I love it.
Yeah, man. Who's this?
This is Justin. Listen, I know I sound like I'm excited, but I'm doing a roof up the street for you. And bro, I had to put you on because people keep telling me how crazy my roof prices are. So I just wanted to share energy. Guys, if you're going to sell, you have to give energy. You have to give energy. You have to pretend like you're not selling. Because the thing is that people don't like to be sold. No one likes to be sold. But when I call people, I'm talking to them like I already know them. And it's going to keep them. And that's going to keep them on the phone. And never, ever, ever feel like you can't talk to somebody on the phone or feel nervous like, or you're calling somebody on the phone, because guess what? That's going to put food on your table. That's going to help your dreams come true. So why be afraid to help your dreams come true? If you get 100 no's, you guys know the drill, but you need that what? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way though, but I can keep going on. I got so many plays, but the main thing is,
man, one of the things that is very apparent is your energy. And it's like you turn it on, right? And one of my questions is, okay, so how do you find those type of deals? How do you get someone started that even wants to make the granite play or the roofing play, or what would be the steps for that person to start?
That is that simple. All you guys got to do is find a person that does granite. Go Google 5 different people in Charlotte, North Carolina that do granite and find out what their prices are. Get the person that has good reviews, but get the person that also can get it for a good price. Tell that person you have your own contracting company. You get a whole bunch of different referrals for granite. You're so swamped with work. You want to give them business, but we want to give them a trial. So I have these addresses. We've already called these people. Go ahead out there and give me the quotes on the granite, right? Don't tell the people to quote directly, or I'm not going to work with you. I got a ton of business. I'm not going to work with you. Just go try. Because what's going to happen, these guys are going to try to take the business themselves. That's going to happen if you don't have the relationship. So you want to make sure that, listen, don't talk to these people directly. Just talk to me. Now, if you want to just screw me over, you don't know me, you're going to be missing out on a bunch of business. So you want to take this to miss out on 100 different other jobs, feel free, but just know that I'm going to know what you did. So you make that clear before you guys even have communication and say, hey, let me know how much, it's going to be directly with me. That's it. No complication in it whatsoever. Simple as that. And then just get the quotes, upcharge a couple grand and keep it pushing. And then if the people want to negotiate, hey, all right, you got a couple grand worth of negotiation room so you can make them feel like they're getting a good deal. And then you can always have multiple people go over there and give quotes. Hey, I got a few guys that can go over there and do measurements. They don't have to know who you are. You can tell the people that are the different granite guys, hey, listen, I'm going to have, Jorge, and I'm going to have John come over, right? So they're different crews, but I also want to make sure exactly that, you can make whatever you want. But all you got to do is just find the people that specialize in that particular thing. And the reason why we're choosing granite, flooring, tile, and roofing is because it's hard to mess that up. Now, when you get into painting, carpentry, that gets specialized. People start getting picky, and then that's when people start wanting their money back if you mess up the job. Granite, you can't mess up. Roofing, you can't mess up. And it's quick. Painting is days of work. Granite, you in and out. Roofing, it takes half a day, and it's super straightforward, right? Flooring takes...
I think that roofing and flooring, man, that seemed like that would be the one.
No, not at all. It's super straightforward. Like my roofing guys do a roofing job, standard home, probably in half a day. A big mansion, a day. Maybe a day and a half, but my crew it's just a bunch of them. So a lot of times too, people are using my contacts because my contacts are loyal. So that's why it's like, when I tell people, hey, listen, man, just get with somebody or get with a mentor that can give you those contacts. So you can still run this play on your own, and you can build a good relationship with some contractors, and you can find your own buyers list, and you can use all the different strategies that you can watch on YouTube and try to figure out on how to find deals. But if you get with a person like me, my strategies are on YouTube. You know, my buyers list ain't gonna be on the internet. You know, like my connections, the stuff it took me 18 years to get. But at the same time, it's like you cut the line with me. Then you have some people that are waiting in the line. So it just depends on what you want.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you a couple questions. Just how do you get around? Because it's almost like you're performing as a general contractor. With no
That's exactly what you're doing.
But you don't have a contracting license.
So if the contractors already have their own license, why do you need one? You're sending contractors already licensed to go out there and do the job. You're just the middleman.
Yeah, I kind of felt that, but I wanted to hear you say it. Yeah.
Oh no, for sure. So the thing is that you don't have to have a license. You don't have to have any of that to actually do the work, because the people
licensed, bonded, insured, as long as your contractor that you're sending out there has that stuff, you're good.
Yeah. So, because keep in mind, you're gonna find people from Google. These are people already on Angie list, all this type of stuff. So then, even when the warranty comes, right? Hey, my client, this messed up, the grand messed up. You're still calling back that same contractor to fix the work. Same thing with the roof. So you're using contractors, but when you start getting big, right? Like with me, I'm not a licensed general contractor at all, but now I have my own insurance for my contracting business, right? Sure. And my insurance isn't that expensive, because when I told my insurance person all my subs are licensed contractors, then it made my insurance less, because I don't have as many employees under my actual umbrella that are working full time under me directly. So as long as my payroll is under 250,000 or something like that a year for my employees that work for me directly, I don't have to have a big insurance policy for my contracting business, not being a licensed general contractor.
And as long as they're providing you with their certificate for their workers' comp and all that kind of stuff, you're good there.
Yeah, so you're going to use whoever you feel comfortable with to put in somebody's house, that if something was to hit the fan, they're going to be insured with it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
have you, when you're doing this, do you set up a separate company, LLC, that they're paying, or is that what you normally have done?
Yeah. So now this is the thing. If you're on the 10 grand week play, you're not setting no LLC, no week. You gotta go ahead and do this right now. Yeah, you doing this now. You getting this money now. You like, look, we gonna do this later. But yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to keep your money separate, for sure, that would be an accounting question you'd ask your CPA. But for sure, you can set up an LLC in a separate business. This is something you're gonna be running all the time. But for this particular play, this is to help people get a large amount of money in a short period of time. And if they choose to continue to run this play, they should definitely go ahead and follow all the other Right.
Right.
But that's for the 10 grand week play. That's for the contracting play. If they're going to actually buy and sell property, they don't need a real estate license. They don't need to have any type of anything for that. They just have to just find the deals and then get with a good closing attorney or title company, depending on the state, to make sure that they're okay with, doing the assignment contracts or double closings. And that's pretty much it. And anybody would be, as long as you tell them up front, hey, I'm an investor, I'm going to be doing some assignment contracts, or I'm going to do double closings. They just go with an investor-friendly title company or a closing attorney, so that they can then facilitate your deals when you're doing those plays.
Got it. But the key is finding the properties, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's really the easy part. So, and what ends up happening is, I'll have people, and I had to have this whole conversation with my mentees when we had the ceremony, is that I have a lot of mentees that use a strategy that you can literally go online and pick deals and get them under contract. So you can actually make a lot of money off of deals that are already listed. So there's ways that we'll have a property, for example, that let's say Michelle's listing, and let's say Michelle's listing a house for $300,000. Well, I have strategies to where we can get that property under contract, even if it has 20 offers on it, and we'll get it for less than what everybody else is offering. And then we'll sell it to the highest bidder that actually put in an offer, and then make the money that way. And you're saying, how do you get a house under contract that is listed on the market for $300,000? Let's say the highest bid is $330,000, and we might win the bid at 280. How is that possible? Well, it's possible, but it also depends on the situation of the property. But even if it wasn't distressed, and let's say it was just a regular sale, I would still win a bid that's listed at 300 that has a high price. The highest offer is 330 grand, and I can still try to get that property for less than the $330,000 offer, even if it was a cash offer of 330 grand. Now, let's say I might win it for 305 or 300 even, or maybe 295. There's a strategy for that, and then I can still sell it to that same person want to pay 330 for it and make 40 grand. But how do I do that? Well, now that's something I can't say on the air because that's when you got to pay to play. But at the same time, the mentees that I've taught that to, they get spoiled on that strategy. So then they stop doing other plays like calling up probate attorneys and getting deals from people that passed away. They'll stop calling up divorce attorneys and getting deals like that. They won't run short sale plays when a person has a property that's underwater and you can get the property for less than what they owe. Right? They won't go run different plays to use virtual assistants to actually call up thousands of people and actually see who wants to sell their property at a discount. They won't run the plays of tax sales. They won't run the plays of how to get foreclosures before they actually get put on the market because they're a little more tedious. And the list goes on, but keep in mind, I've been doing this.
I think that's pretty amazing if you had a property that is being listed and it's got an offer on it on the table, and you are coming in and getting that property for even 10, 20, 30,000 less than the offer on the table. I mean, that's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, and it's so funny, and it's a very simple concept that people don't know, but you guys use the concepts all the time. But again, it goes to critical thinking and also understanding game theory. So remember, I was an econ major at Cornell, and game theoretic methods, excuse me, not to nerd out, is basically you're understanding your competition, you're understanding the variables, and you're understanding that if you do a certain move, how does that impact your overall outcome? So what I've taught people is how to move in a chess way to, regardless of whoever's bidding on the property, you can then have an internal way to get the property significantly cheaper than whatever else is trying to pay and still maximizing your profit while you sell it to the person wanting to pay the highest price. But again, keep in mind, I'm a pretty sharp guy. And I mean that in the most humblest way, but I'll teach people how to do this stuff so that way they can then make the money. But what happens is my mentees got spoiled to using that method because it was so lucrative. So I had to tap them on the hand and say, hey, listen, don't get mad at me. For example, I'm starting a gold mine in the Amazon, right? Also, I'm going to get into, I got so many other different businesses that I'm going to be getting into. But I'm like, guys, listen, I'm going to be doing international business. I'm going to be doing a lot of different plays in other countries. And there's ways for you guys to do this in scale. I have my own hedge fund. We're going to go around raising a bunch of cash to do more mixed use developments. So it's like, don't get comfortable with just making, 6 figures in a month. Guys, you can truly scale and make as much money as you want. But again, what happens is, and I did a diagram on it, people will get comfortable, but they'll do things to make them look. What happens is that they'll plateau. So if you stay comfortable, right? It means that you're not going to progress. You're going to be normal. But if you stay uncomfortable, mix it with a little comfort, you're going to do well, but you're going to plateau because you're like, you know what? I'm already here. I'm in this mansion or whatever. I'm good. I'm comfortable. But see, for me and those people that are let's say astronomical. Now, I'm not saying I'm astronomically exceptional. So let me put that to the side. But I'm still trying to get there. But people that are super astronomically successful, they stay uncomfortable. They don't have a comfort zone because they stay uncomfortable because there's always something else to do. So I always tell people that I'm with, I'm like, constantly and consistently stay uncomfortable because my dad told me, no matter how successful you are, you're one bad decision away from losing it all.
Yeah.
No matter how successful you are, you're one bad decision away from losing it all. So don't ever get complacent. Don't ever get comfortable. Make sure you're always doing something to protect yourself from that one bad situation, that one bad decision, because you never know.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, Justin, you brought it, bro.
I mean, hey, I was just trying to make sure I could help you guys out
You
because hey,
brought
you
it,
got
man. You
I did
brought
my
it.
research on
So,
y'all.
man, let's do this. How do people get a hold of you if they want to? You mentioned your mentees, that type of thing. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, we're a few minutes over, man, but it's been well worth it. So, tell us how to get a hold of you and what that looks like.
Sure. So topfundmanager.com is my website. All my social media is Top Fund Manager on Instagram, Facebook as well. I don't really get on Facebook that much, but Top Fund Manager all around. But also, if you guys want to learn how to make the 10 grand a week, I got a bunch of other plays on that. I'm going to be running that class May 15th. So if you go to 10grandweek.com, that's it, 10grandweek.com. I already read that class one time. I'm about to update the website to change the dates. But if you stay on 10grandweek.com, I'm going to let you guys know it's going to be May 15th. So literally tomorrow, we're changing the actual date. So you'll see it's going to be May 15th, which is going to be literally next month, super soon. So you guys can learn how to do the 10 grand week plays. It's going to be a 5-day class, Monday through Friday, because it takes a while to learn all these methods. I can't tell you this in like an hour. But either way, 10grandweek.com, topfundmanager.com, Top Fund Manager, all social media platforms.
So the 10 grand a week .com, you said it's a 5 days.
Yeah, 5-day course. So it's 10grandweek.com. Yep. Someone put in there 10grandweek.com. That's it. So you can still buy your tickets on that site. Even if you were to buy a ticket today, it'll still go for the one that's in May. So even though it says we ran that class in January, but we had so much success. We had so much success with it that people asked me to do it again. So we're going to do it again. But that you can literally buy a ticket right now. It'll just go for May.
And how what's the typical schedule for those 5 days?
Yes. So we rerun. So if you do VIP, we have a Q&A that starts around 6, but the general class is from 7 to 8, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8. We do a VIP Q&A before class, but Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 is going to be that. And if you miss class, everything's recorded, so then you can still catch back up and also get all the homework, because the homeworks also have me running the plays. So how I was calling you, I don't like reading a bunch of books and all that type of stuff and tell people read material. I hate that. So I just show me actually getting the deals in front of people. So when I run this class, the homework assignments are always me getting the business in front of you. So you can then press play, rewind. How did he just make that 20 grand on the phone? That's crazy. How did he do that? But I'm really doing it. That's why I'm so good at calling and talking, because I actually do the plays.
Right. You're in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in it. Like, you can't make this up. So yeah.
Man, listen, y'all got the information. It's in the chat. We didn't talk about the cost of it at all.
Oh yeah, the 10 grand week class is cheap. It's $97 starting. I do it to be affordable to people. So that starts at $97 and it goes up from there. So that's it. Like, that's all it is. So you can learn all that stuff at $97. Like, it's not the mentorship program, nothing like that. Literally, it's this 5-day course to tell you guys how to make 10 grand a week running all the plays. So I make it affordable because I don't really care about the money aspect of it. I care about you guys getting the game so you can change your lives. Because guess what's going to happen? When you guys start making money and finding all the different deals, I make my money off of investing. So when I teach you guys how to find deals, who's going to buy some of these deals? Me. Period. So I get so much money off of teaching people how to find deals. Hey, Justin, I found this house. I ain't got the money for it. Shit, let me buy it. Let me get that. You know? So the thing is that we all keep the money together in the circle, because at the end of the day, you know, if you wholesale a deal to me and you make 5 grand off a deal that you find, and I made 60 grand off of it, we all winning. You wholesale it up to me, you're gonna buy you one too. So it doesn't matter. So
gotcha.
$97 for a class for us to make money in the future. Who cares?
Let's go. Y'all sign on up. I love it, man. I love it. So, man, thank you so much for just coming in, dropping some knowledge, man. And it's been great. Michelle, what you think? I mean,
it's been great. You know what you're doing, so
Yeah, yeah.
It's been an honor just being here. You know, like I said, I heard so much about you all, so it's just an honor to be on the show. And guys, everybody that's listening, it's just an honor to talk to you all. And truly, it doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. Don't worry about your credit. Just get the information and run the play.
Run the play.
Run
That's
the play.
it. Run the play. That's it. Hey, listen, everybody, I'm glad that you are tuning in tonight for the Real Money Coach Show. And great comments in here. You know, we got thanks. We got people talking about all, you know, that we always bring in great people, dropping excellent gems. Man, thank you for fulfilling that, because we just get blessed, man, with some of the best guests that
Yes.
knowledgeable and so many different. If you continue to watch the Real Money Coach Show, you're gonna find somebody that you resonate with, that you can latch on and change your life. That's what that's why we're real, right? Relevant, educational, actionable, life-changing information. Y'all join us next week. We'll be right back here on the Real Money Coach Show. Have a good evening.